Hello, everyone. This is Adrienne Igo, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside. And I just decided I would come tonight with an astro chat. I felt like I wanted to come and just make an appearance and talk to some of the signs. And I really wasn't sure which signs I was going to talk to tonight. But I think the universe worked for me because what I do is I usually make a chart for each sign every month. And I made them on these little strips of paper. I don't know if you can see these. Well, the only little strips that I found, I must have cleaned it up and thrown them away, but I found Cancer, Leo, Libra, and Aries. So we're going to be spending a little extra time on you guys tonight, and of course Capricorn and Aquarius, and maybe even Scorpio, because I've got a lot of Scorpio, and maybe even Saggy, because I know I'm going to talk about myself. See, so so if you're a Cap or a Saggy or a Pisces, you might as well stick around. Or yep, a Pisces or Aquarius. Hell, it's everybody. Stick around. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is happy February to everyone. I've done each of the signs over the last few weeks, but I really have not sat down and done an actual astro chat where I talk about the signs and where I love doing that, where we look at where everything is right now and where it's going to be and what we're looking at, and just study what's going on, because that's one of the things I love to do and how it affects us. Now, one of the things I can tell you already that hands down, I know it's already affecting me, is that Venus went into Capricorn on the 3rd. And right now, let me see where it is exactly right now. So right now it's at 3 degrees. It's not quite within striking distance of my sun, unless I open up the degree to 11 degrees, because my sun's at 14. So, and it's almost at 15, but it's at 14, thank goodness, because 15 is a horrible degree. But 3 degrees of Venus. I can tell you one of the things that I felt immediately was Venus when it went to Capricorn. I did 2 things that I was not able to do before. The first was to send my ex a Valentine's, and who would have ever thought that I would have done that, in a message in our private group, which we still have. I don't know if I'll ever see it. I'm this bigger man because I wanted to let him know, well, yeah, you might be a, what but I loved you for real. I don't know what you did, because I have a feeling there were some real problems there. Maybe there were control issues. I won't lie. I mean, serious control issues. Like, I'm going to write a book, control issues. I actually am writing a book right now. My book, was it? What's that book called? I'll tell you in 1 second. The name of my book. Yeah. Astrology, Love, and Abusive Behaviors. Astrology and abusive behaviors. Lord. Now, I would know, right? I was born with Venus in Scorpio sitting in the 10th house. Venus in Scorpio alone is bad. Venus in Scorpio in the 10th house is worse. Venus in Scorpio in the 10th house, when you're a double Capricorn and your ruler of your chart is Saturn, and the 10th house is the home of all of that, well, it's almost horrific. It's hard. I think that I've been accused of just about everything in the book in my relationships, from being cold or distant or bitchy, or I don't know. This last guy said he was scared of me, and I'm like, scared of me? Really? He was like 6 feet. He was skinny as a bone. And I'm a big, buxom kind of woman. But really, come on. It's ridiculous. And I bet he's got people out there believing that shit. Sometimes you can't get through. There's a wall. I remember, I forget, wasn't that Saturday night? There's a wall. There's a wall. There's a wall. I don't know what that wall is. I don't know if this Venus going into Capricorn will break through to the wall, and then he'll be able to say, oh my gosh, there's a real person over there. Because I don't know what I think somehow he said he hadn't, but how do you just, I forget that. Okay. Venus went into Capricorn. Some people are going to be having epiphanies. They're going to be changing. Capricorns in particular. Because the other thing I did was, well, I don't know what's going on with the husband guy. I'm not sure. I know I've got papers here. I just haven't mailed them because I'm waiting to hear from him. I'm like, are you ever going to try to fight for what we ever had? But I don't think so. Not even around Valentine's Day. And I guess really when you get right down to it, since it's the 6th, maybe this is why I'm doing this. It's near Valentine's Day. So these are the issues that come out. Now, because I got Gemini in the 5th house and mama ain't no idiot after 4 months, there's somebody else who's actually been catching my heart. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's been kind of weird, bumpy over the last week or so. But he's like, he always tells me I'm the one. So I'm like, I'm going to hang in there with this guy. Whoever comes forward to claim me can get me. I'm throwing it up there. I'm throwing it up to the universe. The real love of my life, whoever that may be, needs to put his claim upon me by the time Venus gets to my ascendant, I'm going to say. That means you got until 17 degrees of Capricorn to get your shit together. One of y'all. And if you're on the outskirts and you want to make your move, this might be it too, because they messing up. I'm just saying. I'm sitting here without knowing. No man should ever have a woman guessing whether or not things are okay. You should always know. And if you're diverting your attention away from the one that is supposed to be the one so much that that person is wondering if everything's okay, then everything's not quite okay. Now, in this case, I'm okay because I'm not married to him. But the one I'm married to, I'm not okay. You should never make a commitment and do that. So anyway, I had to go and do my little speech on that. Because it's important, okay? I had to do that. And it is close to Valentine's Day. And so these feelings do crop up. I have a feeling that when the full moon comes around in Virgo, of all places, Lord, that I'll probably make another video that might be even more, it might be more biting and more critical, because Virgo is a very critical moon. I think right now, since we had the new moon on the 4th, all happening in Aquarius, it happened it's smack in my first house. And so I feel like I'm dealing with the reality of the things that pertain to me. We spend so much of our time, at least I do, dealing with the things that pertain to other people. Like whether it's I'm thinking about my husband, or I'm thinking about my daughter, or I'm thinking about my little beau, or I'm thinking about you guys, like all the readings that I do and the appointments that I have and whatever. I popped up today, got dressed thinking I had a business meeting, and it's not until tomorrow. That's how scattered I am. Okay. So I thought, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to center myself. I'm going to hold on to my magic amethyst, and I'm going to talk a little bit and see where the planets are and what is affecting us and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And maybe just have this astro chat like I'm doing, where I can discuss where these things are. Perhaps whatever we discover will help others. And so here I am. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I'm just going to go over a couple of things. Not sure how your day has been going. My day's been interesting. Yeah, like I said, the last few days, I feel like me and my beau are getting a little bit closer because I felt like I was pulling away from him for a minute. I don't know what was going on. But you have to realize that Venus was in the 12th house going into the solar first. I mean, it's still technically in my natal 12th house until it hits my ascendant. But at least it's not in the 12th, in the solar 12th house or natural 12th house or whatever. So I feel like at this point, it's all uphill in whatever relationship I'm in. And if whoever cares about me doesn't come forward when Venus is in Capricorn, well, they most likely don't actually care about me, do that. I'll give them to the late degrees of Capricorn, by the way, since it doesn't get into the first house until the 17 degrees. Speaking of 17 degrees, I wanted to take a look at something. Right now, the sun in Aquarius is at 17 degrees. 17 degrees is also where my moon is and where my soon-to-be ex-husband's moon is, I guess. And 17 degrees. So, it's weird. I've looked this degree up before, but this is what it says about 17 degrees. There is susceptibility to physical illness here. Mm-hmm. Yep. He tends to express frustration through physical avenues. There is a spontaneous element associated with the nature of Uranus. He may lie dormant, waiting for the right stimulus to put him on the track. It seems to be necessary for these natives to have some outside influence to stimulate their growth and keep them going. Whereas, on the contrary, many of them end up being isolated from friends or relatives or any source of finding the help they need. Oh, this is a sad degree. Something told me I should have read this degree. This was probably more yesterday than today, because it's almost at 18 degrees. I just noticed that. But wow. They often appear to be egotistical, seeking the spark they need to light their lamp. Sometimes they can be quite obnoxious when no one pays attention to what it is they need. Usually others fail to recognize the problem and succumb to physical illness. If this influence if it is sufficiently powerful, it may drain them of many otherwise worthwhile qualities, which may go begging in the chart. It seems that the lesson to be learned here is the proper interaction with other people, of which communication is the most basic. In other words, I think they're saying communication and interaction with people yesterday and today may have been very important. So I'm wondering if any people have experienced any problems with interacting with others. As I said, I did over the last couple of days, but it's getting better. It was kind of strange, but yeah, it's getting a little better. Now, since we're going into 8 degrees, see, I'm glad I read it. I just had to look at the first line. There's little promise with this degree. That means tonight and tomorrow, I don't expect anything fancy, I guess. Is this a perverted sexual passion is a danger to be avoided? A perverted sexual passion. What is going on? Often these natives do not marry. They, like the previous degree, tend to isolate themselves. But the difficulty is not as obvious here. There certainly is unhappiness because of the isolation, and perhaps there are psychic influences which affect the native's mind and emotions. There is also danger of problems with the legs, depending on the planets involved and the aspects. The need to develop a healthy attitude towards sex is paramount. Balancing the life generally will be a great help. Balancing the life. Also important to be active, not isolate himself from people. That's great. Okay, so one of the things that and it's so weird because the sun is in my first house, that I'm doing on Facebook is I have a group that I created called the 21-Day Dance Challenge. If you type in 21-Day Dance Challenge, it will pop up on Facebook. It's just a group. And what I do, I've challenged myself personally. I was going to wait till I had 30 people. I've got like 22 people or something in the group. But everybody who hears this message is invited to go to 21-Day Dance Challenge on Facebook. It's a group. And today would be day 5 for me that I've done it. As a person with Capricorn and Aquarius in the first house, my legs, of course, have been hurting horrendously. But I know that those are the areas that I need to work on most. People with a lot of heavy Aquarius, you might be feeling for some reason or another. Now, in my case, I've been dancing, but I can see where some Aquariuses might be feeling some issues in their knees, or not knees, but their legs, just their legs in general. Capricorn's the knees, Aquarius just the legs, like the calves and the shins, and where the fibia and tibia are, and down below the knee and things like that. And so just be cautious with your legs. I would definitely do that with the emphasis in Aquarius, because we still have Mercury in Aquarius at 23 degrees, and the sun is in Aquarius at 17 degrees. That's a 5-degree split, and well, almost 4, because the sun is moving pretty quickly. And so, be cautious with legs. Even when I'm dancing, anyone who, you'll see, I lost 300 pounds doing what I'm doing right now before. So I had gained back some, and that's why I'm doing it again. But I can tell anyone who is worried, like, oh, I can't dance. First of all, it doesn't matter what you look like, just dance. And then the other thing is that, well, I don't, it's not like I'm some skinny mini perfect person. I'm just a person who was once handicapped in a wheelchair dancing. That's what I do. So I tape video each dance song I challenge you to, because I want proof. And if to hold yourself accountable, I would want proof of you too dancing to it. But you don't have to video yourself. Anyway, it's a fun thing. I hope people who are within the sound of my voice think about it and come and dance with me. It's fun. At least watch me struggle, and also watch me lose weight every day. I get better and better. So today the moon is at 11 degrees Pisces, and that's a great place for Pisces. Like, no. At least for me. I don't know how everyone else is feeling about that, but I'm happy about that. This is because 11 degrees Pisces is like trying my midheaven from the second house. Whatever it is I'm doing right now, I'm giving, right? I'm giving. And, I talked about that in someone's reading about how the second house is really the house of giving, what we have to give. Even when it comes to things like our compassion, if you got Pisces on the second house, and it shows how much compassion we have to give. And I just feel like this is a time of giving and just showing, and I felt compelled to give. And this is how I give. If I had some other way of doing it, I would. But by just sharing the knowledge that I've managed to amass in my lifetime with astrology and my own personal insights, that's how I have to give, and just coming on screen and doing what I do. But sure, I have a feeling all of you are feeling just a little bit more compassionate today than maybe a day before, or so. It's been a cold couple of days, but it's warming up, right? It's starting to feel really compassionate right now. A lot of kind, giving, loving feelings. I like that. And, as if that wasn't good enough, on the 10th, Mercury is also going to be in Pisces. And so that's going to be amazing when Mercury gets into Pisces, because then it's really kind of going to start that Pisces season off, right? Even though it's only the 10th, it's the beginning stages of it. And Mercury in Pisces is more of that compassion. I mean, more of that caring, giving, helping, healing, just sharing even. It's, the funny thing about having Pisces on the second house, and that being my house of giving or caring or what I have to give, is that, yeah, I sometimes feel like I'm being used. Why I'm writing a thing about astrology, love, and abusive relationships, because I've experienced them. I know firsthand a lot of different things. I've seen things firsthand, and so there's just knowledge that we gain through life experience, and that knowledge you could then maybe help or save someone else. And that's so very Pisces. Pisces is known, it's the end of the zodiac. It's the place that once you arrived at Pisces, well, hell, you've been through it all. You've experienced it all. You've been through the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, in betweens, And so all the issues that deal with Pisces, when, wherever that is in your chart, that's your house of wisdom. Like, you probably have been hurt more in that house more than anywhere else. You've worked so hard, you might have failed or succeeded in that house, depending on how it's been. In my case, I was given, it's funny. I'm just, hold on for a second. I'm so dry. It's wintertime. I feel like there was a carrot that was dangled before me, and I feel constantly like the hamster in the wheel that's chasing, like if I was a rabbit chasing a carrot. It's like the promise of greatness, or the promise of wealth, or the promise of security, or the promise of stability. I've got Jupiter in the second house, and that makes me almost obsessively compulsive when it comes to wanting to create something. Really, I think that's what all of this is about for me, is the creative process of creating something, and making it, and just so many little creations all over the place. And I realize that, I joke about it, that I've got a Jupiter run amok. Jupiter and Pisces run amok. I do. Because I got Neptune on the midheaven, and it's trying the midheaven. And right now, at 11 degrees, the moon is sitting right on that midheaven, trying that crazy Jupiter in the second house. So, I hope that this is generating money from me somewhere. It's a shame I don't charge like some people do, but yeah, it's just me giving again. I just do that. I don't quite understand, but yeah. Now, on the 14th, Mars is going into Taurus. Oh, who else is happy that Mars is finally going into Taurus? I'm telling you, I am very happy Mars is getting out of Aries and going into Taurus. It's funny. Aries is like a funny place to have Mars. I just feel like all during Aries season of Mars, it's like it's almost like you're flirting. I feel like we were flirting, but we didn't actually get any. It's like just the period of the conquering, or the period of the pursuit, or the period of like the honeymoon phase, or whatever you want to call that. It's so Aries, because Aries is the beginning of things, right? Aries signifies the beginning. That's what it stands for. It's the beginning. It's the first sign of the zodiac. It's the number one. It's the head. It's the beginning. It's the start of all new things. That's why they're known as the pioneer and the initiator, because that's what Aries does. And so we have been in this period of initiation where lots of Aries projects and things have been started. Now, the thing about Aries is Aries will start things, but they don't always finish them. So there may be quite a number of unfinished things that you started during Aries season Why you started them and didn't finish them, I don't know. But take this time when Mars enters Taurus on the 14th, which is Valentine's Day of all things. And Taurus is the natural sign or ruled by Venus. Well, that should be a very good time to start everything anew. Well, at least go into finishing what you started. So I hope that when Mars enters Taurus on the 14th, maybe, my ex will see that I sent him a little Valentine's. Maybe my beau will, want to spend more time with me. Maybe it'll be the start of something new. I doubt that. Tauruses usually are the ones they are, they're not quite builders as much as Capricorns, but yeah, they're steady. Mars in Aries is when you discovered it, you started it, you pioneered it, you conquered it, you began the journey. Mars in Taurus is when you build it, you're solidifying it, you're building the foundation for it, you're setting it in stone somewhere. It's, that's Mars in Taurus. So it's becoming more real. Mars in Aries, you got it. You started the idea. Now you're going to put some firm foundation and earthy reality and pragmatic thought behind that idea. Whether that is love or business or any project or thing you're involved in, putting the emphasis into making things real. That's important, okay? Because I think a lot of people might have lost touch with reality as well. But if you're from the 14th on, that emphasis is going to be in real, tangible, touchable, feelable, even experiences, because Mars is a very hands-on, or not Mars, Taurus is a very hands-on sign. They like to touch and feel. They're very sensuous. And it's Mars. Sexiness is abound. I feel sexiness coming. I do. Valentine should be very sexy for some people. Now, on the 18th, Chiron enters Pisces. And thank goodness for that. I am so tired of Chiron's behind being in, and Chiron enters Aries. I'm tired of Chiron being in Pisces. Because Chiron in Pisces has been hard. It was a hard year. Oh, it was hard. When everything fell apart with my marriage, Chiron was trine my sun, or not my sun, my Venus, which had like the full moon opposed it or something great. It was ugly. It was like that day, look up the 26th of October. It's an ugly day, Lord. But thank goodness, Chiron is now coming out of Pisces, because that has been painful for a lot of people. It's been painful for me in particular because it's been in my second house. And mama ain't made no money. Very limited money. It's time. I'm glad Chiron is going to be leaving my natural second house. It doesn't get out of my natal second house for a little while, but it gives me hope that it's getting better. And thank you for going into Aries Chiron. Those who are Aries are going to be affected by this. You might find, especially if you're born in the early degrees of Aries, you might find that old pains and hurts and wounds that you thought were long gone, dead and buried, come back to the surface. And you might find yourself crying over things that you thought you would never cry about again. I mean, I need to warn you about that. And this is going to begin around on the 18th. So just be aware of that. And don't panic, guys. I mean, especially Aries, because Aries will panic. They don't like crying. They don't like feeling bad. Aries don't like that. They're fire signs. So when it happens, I just breathe, get yourself together. It's okay. Just realize that when Chiron comes around, wherever that house is that, your Aries is in, that it needs to deal with that area. It needs to be healed. It needs to be fixed. There's something wrong. Okay. And when it hurts when it's healing, it's not going to feel good. But it heals it. And it's going to be so much better now once it leaves that area. I can tell you exactly how it manifested for me with the Pisces. Well, like I said, I made no money. Chiron sat in the second house for ages. I didn't even know I wasn't making I didn't even think about what I was doing wrong. It wasn't getting through to me. I had to learn every blessed, horrible lesson about failure and not making money because Chiron said so. And I went through that. I've learned these lessons. Right now, and it's trying my Venus. It's trying my Venus. That's not bad. But any aspect to Chiron is making you learn a lesson, right? You're healing. You're learning a lesson. In my case, well, it's Venus. You hear me sitting here talking about the husband, the possible beau, me actually being alone. How Scorpio Venus is that? Scorpio Venus is known for walking through the world alone, naked and alone. And that's me, naked and alone, just bearing my soul to all who will hear me. Just naked and alone. I mean, I've got family and whatnot, but alone from the viewpoint that that partner that should be next to me isn't next to me now. And so that is something that I know, even as I'm saying these words, it is the lesson I'm being taught at this very moment. It's freaking me out actually as I'm talking, like, talking about myself. But someone else out there needs to hear this message. I mean, someone else has got, oh, well, I'm thinking about the guy, the beau guy, there were some people were affected at 29 degrees of Cancer, which is trying 29 degrees of Pisces, or 29 degrees of Scorpio, which is my Venus. It's 2858 or something like that, my Venus. But there are people out there who are being affected by Chiron right now. Okay, so please be aware that Chiron makes you aware of these things, and it can make you, like, when I think of Chiron, I just think of cry in your milk. You see someone, crying in their drink somewhere. I mean, I don't drink. I'm sipping on my tea. Because that's what Chiron does. Hopefully, you went through all that pain, whatever that pain is for you. And at the end of it, at the tail end of all that pain, you've learned a lesson and you've healed. That wound might have been open for 30 years or something. And Chiron comes along and says, nope, no, we're healing this. We're healing this shit now. Okay. And that's what it does. Now, I haven't made a lot of money, but you know what I did do? I got off my butt. I stopped feeling sorry for myself. I opened up a YouTube channel. I started making videos. And if you're hearing me or you've ever watched one of my videos, then I've done something, because I wasn't doing this before, but I'm doing it now. My heart and my soul have been led to do it. And so I do it. And I feel like it's going to help me to heal my second house pain. Because one of the things I discovered immediately was, although I had never made money on the internet before, as an astrologer, I make money. Maybe it's what I'm supposed to do. And so I pretty much stopped everything else and started doing what my heart wants to do. It's what my heart wants to do anyway. So if I have something to give, and you guys, 40 years, that's a lot to give. Even if it's just the insight I have after 40 years. But I have a lot of knowledge. I've been studying and looking at these things for a long time. So anyway, just be aware that wherever Chiron goes, it's going to hurt. There may be tears. It's probably going to be painful. You're going to feel like you failed. But at the end of it all, you're going to be healed. You're going to be healed. I know one of the things that Chiron in the second house has also taught me, whether it be in Pisces or Aries, because Aries is still my second house, actually, until 11 degrees, I think. And one of the lessons it taught me was about being more cautious with what I give or how much I give. Or maybe it's how deep I give. It's how deep I give. Okay. I love so deeply. I realize that now. I realize that not everybody has the capacity to love that deeply. Some people are not able to love at all. And I just think it's a sad twist of fate that me with Scorpio Venus wanting to love and be love and give love and share love and exude love. I mean, it's my 10th house. What else am I aspiring to? It's what my life aspiration. Plus, I've got Mars in the 7th house and my North Node in the 7th house. What is my aspiration? Well, to be a great wife. It is. Always has been, always will be. And not just in show. I want love. Real, deep, connected love. That's so important to me. Anyway, some of you guys may be learning a lesson if you have had Chiron in your second house or it's about to go into your second house. It's going to be dealing with issues about what you have to give, the give and take of life. Be aware of that. That whole give and take of life is the area of concern. How much do you give? How much are you receiving? Are you giving out love, not giving love back? Are you giving too much of your money to others? Like if it's this, because it's the second house, it could be money or possessions or letting people, sleep in your house and not pay your rent. And there's all kind of ways that this could be playing out in the lives of people who have Chiron going through their second house. But whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's the second house versus the 8th house. And it's about giving and receiving. And when I think about what destroyed my marriage, it was that I was willing to give. If you looked at all the posts I made on Facebook, thousands, something like 39,000 or something. I'm not kidding. I could sustain love bombing forever if I'm in love. Like some people call it love bombing. I call it just being me. That's Venus in the Venus in the 10th house, and Mars in the 7th. If I'm in love with my partner, I'm in love. I'm obsessive when I get in love. I love. Some people don't know how to love. Now, I think my beau wants to love, but I think he's so used to playing on many levels. It's hard, and I'm not putting no chains on nobody. That's something that has to come willingly. But as long as the give and receive back and forth is okay, and we both feel all right, I'm cool with whatever we're doing because I don't got no papers on him. I'm just saying. I'm keeping it real. What I don't want to do is have a situation where people lie. That I don't like lies. You're going to find, and by the way, Chiron in Aries is a whole lot different than Chiron in Pisces. It's going to be completely different, guys. I know you don't believe me. It's at 29 degrees and 25 seconds or 25 minutes right now. And we have what, a day, a week max. I don't know how long it'll take for it to cross over those 35 minutes. But yeah, we're about to go into, there we go on the 18th. So we got 12 days. 12 days. 12 days of this Pisces whining, crying in her damn milk. I've had some of the viewers like, oh God, stop the pity party, Lord. I'm like, ain't no damn pity party. Shit, it's only been, 4 months? Only been away from the guy for 4 months. That's not enough. It's not like I was dating him. I was married to him. I keep telling people that. Please don't say stuff like that. That's so upset. And especially if you ain't never been married. Because y'all don't know. It takes a lot. You cross a certain barrier when you decide to marry someone. Like, you have to, at least for me, some people get married, I guess they're I don't know what they're getting married for, but for me, I had to cross a certain barrier in my heart. Like, there was a reading someone did, and I happened to come across this reading, and I cannot give the props to the right tarot reader. I'm so sorry, sweetie. But she gave the analogy, or she picked up this card, and it showed a heart. And I don't know if anyone else seen it. It was a heart in a bird cage, or a heart in a box, or heart was caged, and the key was outside of the box. So in order to open up that, like, the heart was encased, and there was no key inside that box to open that heart. It was outside. How is the heart going to be open? It would take another person outside of that heart to go get that key and unlock that heart. I hope you understand what that meant. Anyway, when I think about, my heart, someone comes and opens up gets the key and they open up the box, right? Why the F would you go and open the box if you didn't want to have the heart? Why did you do it? That's the anger I've got. Okay. And that's the wall I'm talking about. And Mike, she gave the card had an analogy of a box. And me, it's like the barrier. We all have barriers to protect ourselves. We must protect ourselves, right? And sometimes we don't do it. And in my case, I really forgot to do that. To a certain extent. That's why it hurt so deeply, because I was actually in love, and the other person, I don't know if they can feel love. And I hope you understand that. Some people are playing a game, a show. It's for show. I think Chiron and Pisces really exposed that for a lot of people. They're showmen. They put on a good game, a good show. They might have been asleep. They might not even have been aware that they were doing what they were doing. I'm just saying, when so much influence in Pisces, well, it can make a lot of people just in a haze. They call it the glow of love, the haze of love. Who knows what that was? But now Chiron is going into Aries, and it's going to be a whole different vibe. That haze, what haze? Oh, damn haze with Aries. Aries, they coming in with a sword. You got to pain this sword and that shit out. Aries is just coming in. Cut, 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 cut. Aries ain't playing. You got a pain, and wherever Aries is, it's going to fix it. It's healing. That means we're fixing things, right? And Aries will cut out everything when it gets here on the 18th. It'll just start. You'll feel it. I'm telling you, you're going to feel it. They're the warrior. Sag and Aries are warriors, right? The brave warrior coming in to fight off the demons, fighting off that inner evil darkness. And it's going to X out all the evil darkness around you, probably. Because Aries, now I've got Aries, mostly some in my second house, but a lot in my third house. And I know once it gets in the third house, and I already know what my pain is, because once it gets into Aries, it's in the natural or solar third house anyway. So I already know that for me, Aries and Chiron, well, that's the third house of communication. The pain that I have deep pain around communication, okay? Because I've told the story before of how I used to be tongue-tied. I talk like this, Imagine speaking like broken Spanglish and being tongue-tied. It's horrific. They put me in speech therapy, and that's why I speak the way I speak. And I've got Saturn in the first house with Mercury hanging around it. And it made me work harder at communicating than anywhere else. I've been a disc jockey. I've been a singer. I've done all kinds of things with my voice because my voice is where my Saturn is. It's where I work harder. Anyway, Chiron in that Aries, well, it's going to be, it's going to be cutting out a lot of it's going to change me. And I don't know if you ever have done this, but if you look at my videos from the beginning to now, you see the gradual progression of how my communication has changed. Aries is coming in to heal whatever wounds, hurts, pains that might be there. I know for myself, I had someone say to me last month or a few weeks ago, "You're one of my favorite astrologers. Why aren't your numbers greater?" And I'm like, I don't know. Share my videos. I don't know. Share my videos. I don't know. I don't know what I'm not doing right. So maybe Chiron entering this area of my life, especially when it gets in, that third house, it's going to show me what it is I'm missing in the area of communications, whether it's me or whether it's that I'm missing like how to get myself out there and promote myself in the area of communications. Perhaps I need to do something more communicating, like reading, writing, posting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need to hire someone to work with me while it's in my second house. I don't know. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to see what other people do. And maybe I'll start to do what they do. But this is what Chiron does. It comes in and it starts to heal. So it is trying to heal that area of where I like all the second house issues and now the third house issues. And so wherever Chiron in wherever Aries is, that's where the emphasis is going to be for you with this Chiron, because it's going to enter that area. Now, on the 18th, the sun is also going to be entering Pisces on the very same day. That's going to be an interesting day, really. Because on the 19th, there's going to be the full moon in Virgo. And the crazy thing about this is that, and I've talked about it in several videos, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it today, but it's all happening at 0.42 degrees. What a strange area. I mean, the full moon's at 0.42 and the sun's going to be at 0.42. Really want you guys to be aware of that weird seesaw pattern effect that's going to be happening on the 19th when the full moon is in Virgo. And that's a really critical moon because, well, Virgos can be critical, also verbal. So I would be extra cautious about verbal on that day. Okay. And critical. Now for myself, as I look at it, and anybody who's got Pisces in the second house and Virgo in the 8th house, I mean, just be aware that there's going to be a full moon emphasis on your 8th house of maybe other people giving you money. But the sun's going to be down in what you own. So it could play out in a lot of ways on the 19th. where there could be this push and pull between what you give and what you receive. Remember, I just talked about that. So just remember, kind of why I led into it, that the whole emphasis is going to be on what you give versus what you receive. What you give versus what you receive. Are you giving more than you're receiving? Are you receiving more than you're giving? Is there some kind of equality and balance we can get in the middle of that? Okay. Look at that. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel that if that's the area that happens in your life. Now, this full moon is going to be happening at various places for everybody. So I can't say for certain how it will affect everyone. I can in a way. Okay, I'll give you an idea. Virgo in the 10th house, you're going to be kind of critical in your career. I just be cautious that day, Lord. What is the 19th? Is it a day where you don't have to work? Nope, it's a Tuesday. I would say around the 18th and 19th. Anybody that has Virgo up in the 10th house needs to be cautious. I'm just saying. I don't know what made me think about the 10th house. What made me think about the 10th house? I don't know. I don't know why I went to that first. Why was that important to me? I don't even know why I was led to say that. Lord, somebody got Virgo in the 10th house. Why did I think about Virgo in the 10th house? I wonder, why did I go there first? Who's got Virgo in the 10th house out there? And what would that give you? That would give you what? Like, wow. What, Scorpio rising? That would be what? Libra, Scorpio, Sag. Maybe Sag. I'm talking to somebody Virgo in the 10th house. Whoever I'm talking to, be careful. Virgo in the 10th house. I don't know why I called out to me Virgo in the 10th house. Oh, I'm not going to be right now. Got stuck on Virgo in the 10th house. Let's go around the chart. Virgo in the 11th house. Well, that's going to be some critical thinking with your friends and associates. Oh, be cautious of having some type of fallout with a friend. Full moon in Virgo in the 9th house. Full moon in Virgo in the 9th house. All nitpicking and stuff. Don't be messing with your friends. And don't go into groups starting trouble either. All messing with people. Virgo in full moon of Virgo in the 12th house. Full moon Virgo in the 12th. Don't be so hard on yourself. Whatever you're upset about is because the full moon. You know, don't take too many pills. Don't get too drunk. You know, take care of yourself. Stay away from pills. Really, stay away from pills. Okay. Full moon in Virgo in the 1st house. Again, no need to be critical on yourself. You might feel like you're not good enough or perfect enough that day, or you might just feel like you want to cry for some reason, but there's no reason. Hopefully something good will happen to you on that day, so you won't look at it in a negative light, but you'll look at it more in a positive light, because the full moon is shining in your 1st house. So it's technically time for you to shine. So I hope you're shining and not crying. Okay, full moon in Virgo in the 2nd house. Money. Why I heard Cardi B? I heard Cardi B. Money. Full moon in Virgo in the 2nd house. Lord, that's money. Well, why is it opposite for me? Well, was in the 8th house, okay. But then, what does that mean? That means my partner's getting money back. That doesn't mean I got the money. Doesn't mean I get the money. But y'all getting the money. Full moon in Virgo in the 2nd house. Go listen to Cardi B. Money. All right, now. Full moon in Virgo in the 3rd house. Well, You know, my grandma used to say something to me all the time. And it was, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Nathan. Okay, full moon in Virgo in the 4th house. All fighting with your family. Don't argue with your family. All critical. Because all of a sudden, you got to look around your house and see every bit of junk and dirt and whatever is imperfect, you're going to see it. And you're going to be like, ah! If you got kids, you're going to be yelling, didn't I tell you? Don't be beating your kids. Didn't I tell you? Put that back in. Stop. I'm just saying. Sorry, y'all. I just get the stupidest vision. Full moon in Virgo in the 4th house. Child, I hope you're using it in a more positive light. You know, have family over, have a dinner or something. Don't like hit on them kids. They probably bad, but don't. Full moon in Virgo in the 5th house. Oh, why are you nitpicking on your partner? You're finding all kind of flaws in him. You know you love him. You like that boy. Why are you picking on him? Lord, mercy. Don't pick on your partner. And if you got a plan and you've already, you're written down the plan, you plan the plan, you're going to implement the plan one day. Well, don't pick the plan apart today. If the plan was good yesterday, the plan is still good today. It's the full moon in Virgo. You're being nitpicky. Wait till the full moon gets out of Virgo. And don't mess up your business plan. And don't destroy your businesses, entrepreneurs. I'm just saying. You got, I don't know why I get these visions. Oh my gosh. I just realized that's my daughter. My daughter's got Virgo in the 5th house. Like, don't mess up your epiphanies of equity or equity, whatever her little business is. Like, whatever she's doing, like, don't second guess your business that day. Don't second guess your business. Because you're going to find every flaw in it. I'm just saying. Whether it's a business partner, your children, you want to be the 10. I tell you, but that was sorry. Okay, better stop. That full moon in Virgo ain't no joke. I'm telling you, full moon in Virgo ain't no joke. They are so critical. They will. There may be flaws that nobody ever saw, but when the full moon goes into Virgo, everything that has just been bothering you is just going to be coming out. Y'all just might say or do anything, Lord. Full moon in Virgo in the 6th house. Baby. Ooh. Just, I would meditate. If you do yoga, if you work out, do that. Eat well. Salads are great. I would stay away from meat, definitely. And if you have to go to the doctor, go to the damn doctor. This is not the day. Take your ass to the doctor. If you're that sick, go. Just saying. All right now. Full moon in Virgo in the 7th house. You see this look? Wait a minute. Wait. I gotta get it right. Hold on. Why are you giving your partner that look? Why are you looking all bored and stuff? Why are you nitpicking with him? You better be good to your partner. Don't you start no fight. Starting fights and shit. Oh, rolling your eyes. Stop rolling your eyes. I'm so silly tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know why I see this. That's full moon in 7th house. Lord. And stop rolling your eyes at at work, rolling your eyes at people, because you know what people will step to you today. You better stop. Somebody got a chip on their shoulder and somebody gonna knock it off. You better stop. Full moon in your 7th house. All rolling your eyes. I know you got attitude. The best case scenario is to use this day with your partner. I swear. I mean, use it in a positive light, but not in a critical way. Do not nitpick on your partner or your husband today or your wife or whatever. Oh my God, don't pick on your partner today. That is just not cool. And it's a full moon, so every flaw in your partner is going to be highlighted, in your opinion. Like, they are just not doing it right. So just be aware that whatever you see or whatever you think is wrong with your partner, well, it's impossible for them to do it right now. They're not going to be able to do it right. They're not going to look right to you. They're not going to be perfect to you, unless, of course, you got a lot of positive influence of Virgo in overall, especially in the seventh house. So when the full moon comes through, it just highlights or emphasizes the good and positive vibes that are already there. But just be aware the full moon in Virgo is a little critical. So it's going to affect the seventh house if it's going through the seventh house in a very critical way. So you need to be aware of that. Full moon in Virgo in the eighth house. Well, first of all, I'm upset about it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I got Virgo in eighth house. And I'm upset about it for two reasons. Because full moon in Virgo in the eighth house is telling me a couple of things. One, I'm supposed to be having money or sex. I ain't got money nor no damn sex. I want my money and my sex. Where is my money and my sex? I guess on the full moon, I'm going to be very critical about the money and the sex. That's what it all boils down to on the 19th. Or I might end up coming on here on YouTube and making one of my little emotional videos, and you guys can tell me I'm crying in my milk again. Maybe something like that, because the sun is going to be in Pisces, right? Opposing it. So it should be fun that day, believe me. I got the full moon in Virgo in the 8th house. I'm hoping that means I'm going to have an avalanche of money. An avalanche of money is being bestowed upon me. An avalanche. Did you ever hear my prosperity video? I love that. I listen to that sometimes just to hear that part. Anyway, full moon in Virgo in the 9th house. Full moon in Virgo in the 9th house. I don't know why I keep thinking some people may have court dates or documents or something to do with the legal system that day. I don't know why. Something to do with, I don't know, court, legal, government, something like that. Travel, there's some travel, but something long distance maybe. I'm thinking, just be careful. One of the things I would not do on the 19th, full moon in Virgo in the 9th house, is get into conversations and arguments over things that cannot be proved and may vary from person to person. What I'm talking about is dogma. I'm talking about personal philosophies. Like, yeah, I know I have my own little homespun philosophy about life, about astrology, about love, well, about everything. I don't think I think like anybody really anymore. I got Aquarius Mercury in the 1st house, but I'm okay with that, but I'm aware of that. Okay. What I fear is that the Virgo full moon 9th house person would have this same type of homespun philosophy of their own dogma, but they want to impress it upon everyone else in a way that others might feel oppressed by that, because they're not living up to what you believe that value system is. And so since they're not living up to your value system, you might be a little hypercritical of that. This may deal with the things that America's dealing with right now, like the politics and, the gay marriage and the abortion issues, all of that stuff, the racism issues and, all of that. That's 9th house stuff. So just know that critical full moon in Virgo is going to be there. on the 19th. Prepare yourself. So it's good to know this beforehand so that you don't find yourself getting into these crazy, unwinnable debates and conversations, because linguistics is also part of the 9th house. And you might find yourself without noticing, like, you're just getting into this intellectual, philosophical conversation, and it leads, wherever. Be aware of that. Avoid it. All right, because then we got back to full moon in Virgo in the 10th house. Full moon in Virgo in the 10th house. So going back to that again. I don't know what that is about full moon in Virgo in the 10th. Somebody, man, full moon in Virgo in the 10th house. Lord. Oh, wait, I got readings I'm supposed to do. Wait, I was going to help people. That really is him. Oh, I'm cutting this short because I want to talk to my beau. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Hey, honey. What you doing? I was actually making another video and you interrupted another one. But don't hang up. I'm going to interrupt the video for you. Isn't that sweet? Bye, everybody.